All right, guys. Next, we are jumping into a discussion around Activision being purchased by Xbox, and we wanted to just give our thoughts on what we'd like to see come back. Now, we're not assuming any of these are coming back for any reason because they still need to make money. It was only $69 billion. I'm pretty sure Microsoft's going to be focused on recuperating that money and not just making games that aren't going to sell that well. But we're here to talk to you about the games we want to see, whether they sell that well or not. So we're going to discuss a few of those right now. Starting off with True Crime, Streets of LA / New York, but
Mm-hmm.
LA was better.
LA
Probably.
was good.
That was
LA
a
was
good
good.
game. But I feel like this is a game. This is my problem, Wes. I just want to address this really quickly. I mentioned this once before, twice before. There's a gap between Grand Theft Autos now that's like 10 years long,
Mm-hmm.
and very few companies are making games like it. What are you guys doing? You have an open window. Like, I know GTA is the biggest thing on the planet, but after a few years, like someone like me, I'm not playing GTA online. I'm not playing GTA for 10 years. I'll play the campaign and I'm going to move on. So 2, 3 years later, why don't you drop another open world game that's like that, like Streets of LA? Right, Wes? Back me up here. Tell me I'm wrong. That this game could
No,
not come back and be something today.
you know what? It was good back when it came out. I just think that it would be if Microsoft decided to bring back the franchise, they would have to do something different because it would be a GTA clone.
Sure.
But no, I agree. They with the gap that we are getting between Grand Theft Autos, and they need something to fill it. And the True Crime series would be perfect.
If you guys don't believe me, the last time a Grand Theft Auto game came out was during the PS3 and Xbox 360 generation. So there you go. You don't have to believe me, but just think about that. Think about how long it's been.
Well, they've been re-released on the newer consoles, but
Sure.
yes, they originally came out back then.
We got to take advantage of this. Come on. Bring back Streets of LA. The people demand it. They also
You
demand
know,
asteroids.
Asteroids.
So West just stopped dead in his tracks. Look, out of all the arcade classic games, Asteroids is probably the top of my list. I love the OG arcade version of Asteroids. And sure, you could just re-release that version, I'd be happy, but give me a modern version. Give me a new Asteroids.
I was never good at asteroids ever. One or the second one. Yeah, I was just never good at it. But and I'm all about remaking a classic arcade game like they did it with Defender.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Spy Hunter. So I was all about it. Asteroids, eh.
This is like, no, I'm good on that, sure. Uh-huh. What about you, Wes? Give me one that you want to come back.
I enjoy Pitfall. Give me Pitfall. That was a big Activision game back in the day on the Atari 2600.
I
I don't
did
think it
like.
ever. I don't think it ever had an ending because it just kept going on and on and on forever.
That's a good idea. I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good question. Yeah, I never. There was no ending from what I remember. I wonder if there was an ending. I
I don't
played it when I
know.
was a kid. That was one of the earliest games I've ever played, and I loved Pitfall.
Yeah,
Hmm.
back then Activision was big, a big part of Atari as,
They
as far
were.
as Atari success. All their games, most of the games were Activision, but Pitfall, and then we had like the Mayan Adventure, like the sequels for the 16-bit era,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which were side-scrolling and a little bit more on the Indiana Jones side of things. And so they tried bringing Pitfall back a couple times because then I think we got Pitfall 3D.
One of those was terrible, like notably terrible, and I don't know which one it was,
I
but
want to say it was a 3D one.
that would make sense. I think. I think doing those platforms in 3D would probably be
Mm-hmm.
a pain in the ass. And if it was an early 3D game, if it was like a PS1 game or an N64 game, I can see that being trash.
Yeah, but no, I mean the Mayan Adventures and the original. Just give us a new Pitfall. I think they could do it justice, being the time that's given since we had a last Pitfall game.
You know what I need to give a brief shout out to is the new version of Atari that exists. It's not the same company, I'm aware of that, but they've been making these recharged versions of their old games, like a new updated version, and they're pretty damn cool, man. So I would
Hmm.
love to see them do that with Pitfall. Like that'd be awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
But obviously, it's an Activision title, so they would have to get the rights from Xbox, Microsoft to
Microsoft.
make it, and I doubt they're going to be willing to pony up for that.
Man, I know there's a series that you would love Activision to bring back.
I mean, there's
Come
many, but
on.
Tony Hawk
There you
has
go.
it's been brought back already. You guys gave us 1 and 2, and it was better than I could have imagined. It was so good, and they were like, "Yeah, we're done. Put them on Call of Duty." What do you mean? What do you mean you're done? And that game sold very well, but it didn't sell Call of Duty well. And almost any other publisher in the world, I'm like, this
Mhm.
is great. Not a huge investment. Didn't cost a ton of time. Didn't take 20 years to make. Made a few $1 million. Great. They were like, it's not a billion. No more. No more. Just give me 3 and 4 and skate. What was it? Oh my god, what was that one for LA? Oh my god, I can see it. It's like pink and black on the cover. I almost said Skateland, but I don't think that's it. Tony Hawk. Oh my god, I'm gonna forget the name.
It
I don't
wasn't
know.
Underground, not
Nope.
Underground.
Underground was okay, but this was
Mhm.
after Underground. This was like an Xbox 360 game, and it was fantastic. It was really, really good. And I can't remember the name of it right now, but you guys should go play that version. It's pink and black on the cover and has it Tony
Yeah,
Hawk in like a black and white picture.
yeah, I see the cover in my head too, but I can't remember which one it actually was.
Yeah, I want 3 and 4, and I want that one specifically to come back.
Huh.
Very good Tony Hawk games.
Let's see. Let's see if we can find it real quick. I mean, my son bought the Tony Hawk remakes.
American
Um,
Wasteland.
that's what it
It,
was.
it just popped
Yep.
into my mind because I knew it was
Yep.
LA. I was like, what did they call LA? Oh, yeah, American Wasteland. Very fitting. I hate LA so much.
Yeah, he loved it. He loved the remake, like the ones that they brought back for Xbox One and PS4. He said it was really good.
Dude, it's spectacular. Like, it is one of the best remakes I've ever played of a game. Like, I can't believe how good it was. And they're like, no, you guys are done. We're just going to go put you on Call of Duty. Go ahead. Do what everybody else is doing. What about you, Wes? What I know there's another extreme kind of game that's not necessarily a sport. Vehicles, so sporting, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. We got Activision put out a couple of the Vigilante 8 series games, which were a ripoff of Twisted Metal.
Yeah, that was the best way I could describe it. I was like, I never played these, but I just remember them being like a different version of Twisted Metal.
It is exactly what they were, and they were fun. They were fun.
Yeah, I
It
heard they were
was
pretty good.
they were good. Activision did a really good job with them. But it was is what it was. Like I said, it was a rip-off version of Twisted Metal. Now that the Twisted Metal series came out and it was actually really good, if you haven't seen it.
The TV series,
Um,
is that what you're talking about?
yep.
Haven't watched it yet, but I have Peacock, so I could. It's just a matter of time.
Well, it after watching it, it just kind of reignites that car combat feeling, and you want to play something. So Twisted Metal. We haven't had a Twisted Metal game in forever. Vigilante 8, we haven't had longer than that. But that's a title, a franchise that Activision could bring back right now and
Hmm.
capitalize on.
And it would probably not cost them very much money at all. And they own the IP, so it's not like a license thing or anything like that. Speaking of licenses, we have a few that I'm going to mention this next one very briefly because they obviously don't have the license. It's Spider Man. The Activision
Mm-hmm.
Spider Man games were very hit and very miss. There's a few misses. I think probably more hits are good, more hits to the good side of things than the bad side.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely some bad ones in there. They had some awesome Spider Man games, and I'm not saying they need to be able to make a new Spider Man game because Insomniac is doing phenomenal, but just re-release them. Just give us the old ones. Like with maybe some updated controls, and I'd be totally cool with that.
After Activision gave us Shattered Dimensions and Web of
Mm-hmm.
Shadows,
Some of the
which
top
were
ones.
which were really good. I would like to see Activision take control of a Spider-Man game again, totally separate from the
Insomniac.
Insomniac ones. Just let Activision do Spider-Man the way Activision can do it, because they were fun and they were good. Because now trying to find those games are super expensive.
Yeah, all the Spider-Man games was really good on price, but this goes back to my point of what I was talking about earlier, where they don't have the license to re-release them is the problem. Like you can't even download them today, which sucks. So I don't know. Either way, I wouldn't mind seeing Activision have Spider-Man back in their stables once again. Not that I think Insomniac's doing a bad job, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They made some good ones.
Yeah, they did.
They also made a series that I wasn't even aware. I had no idea this license traded hands to Activision at some point, and I missed all of these 007 games. But Wes was like, "Oh, they made Bond. They made this one and this one." I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
Activision?" And Wes tells me they're good, but I never played them, so take it away.
they did the Daniel Craig ones. They did Quantum of
Bloodstone.
Solace. They did Bloodstone. I want to say they did GoldenEye Reloaded.
They might have. I'm not sure.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did the Pierce Brosnan Bond games.
They did one called Legends too, didn't they?
James Bond Legends.
Yeah, I think Activision did that one also.
I don't know. I don't remember. No, you know what? EA did. EA did the Pierce Brosnan ones.
The GoldenEye.
Um, the GoldenEye ones, like
That would
the
make sense.
Nightfall, World's Not Enough, but Activision put out Bloodstone. They put out Quantum of Solace. They did put out the GoldenEye Reloaded one.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
didn't know they did the reloaded one.
yeah, they did the Daniel Craig ones, and they weren't bad. They weren't bad at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back and play those. I always love a good Bond game. I mean, I think I love the Bond. I love Bond more because of video games than the movies. I really do.
Mm, I love James Bond. I love James Bond movies. I always have.
I never watched most of them. I've watched a handful. I've seen like GoldenEye. I've seen some of the Sean Connery ones. I don't even
Mhm.
remember the names of half of them, but I don't know. The games have always got me. Those EA ones were good, man. Like after
They
GoldenEye
were.
came out, people were like, "This isn't GoldenEye." I'm like, "No, it's not, but it's still really good. It's really different and really good."
Oh yeah. What was it? Everything or Nothing.
The
Like
world was not enough. Those two.
oh man, they were great. They were
Yep.
really good. They had the whole, big intro before the title scene, and then they had this whole cinematic title, just like the movies. They did a good job with the Bond games.
Not only were they good then, West, the next generation, like GameCube and stuff, they made Agent Under Fire, and then they made Nightfire, and those two games are
Hmm.
very good Bond games. And that
Yep.
was still when EA had the license.
Yep. So Activision, you're listening? Microsoft, it's time. I mean, we've had several Bond movies since the last one, last game put out. So it's time. Give us a new Bond.
Yes, but more importantly, you guys have GoldenEye. You have a re-released version. Get the multiplayer from Nintendo. It's a trash fire over there. It is. They didn't deserve to get the multiplayer. Please get those multiplayer rights. It's been almost a year. I need them. I need to be able to play it online. And then I won't be doing anything. This podcast will be in ruins. I'll probably quit my job at work. That's all I need is GoldenEye Online for the rest of my life. A few more licensed products on here. Wes, I want you to handle at least the next two because I have very little to say about Alien versus Predators and Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Alien vs Predator was a Super Nintendo side-scrolling beat 'em up. It was the best way I could describe it.
I mean, that sounds
Um,
really cool, actually.
Activision put it out. It was if how can I describe it? It was like a Final Fight type of game,
Okay.
and yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds cool. Side scrolling beat 'em up, you got me. That's like one of the things you could be like, oh, it's a really good first person shooter. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Hmm.
Really good side scrolling beat 'em up. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, man, that was all about it. It was, they there was a series of like side scrolling Final Fight clones that came out like after Final Fight came, and there was like Batman Returns and Alien Predator,
Hmm.
Death of Superman. There was a whole run of those side scrolling games, but Alien Predator was one of the better ones. And then we had Marvel Ultimate Alliance. When I first heard that they were doing a superhero RPG, I kind of was like, eh, eh. But then it came out and we played it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. This is really good because they also gave us was it X Men Legends, which
I
was
think that was either the same team or at least I think that was under
yep,
Activision still at that time at the very least.
yeah. Um, they test the waters with the X Men, and then decided to put all of the Marvel universe in the game and gave us Ultimate Alliance. And you can kind of create your own team as you meet heroes. They join your party, and you can switch heroes out, and they all had their different abilities. And man, that was good. They were really good. One and two. We haven't had it. We haven't. Well, no. Let me rephrase that because we did get a third one exclusively for the Switch.
That's right. Hmm.
But I would love to have another Ultimate Alliance.
So these are role playing games, obviously, which if you guys know me, turned me off immediately. But my question to you is: were these turn based role playing games or were they action role playing games?
They were action role playing games.
Okay, so there's a chance I may actually have some enjoyment if I play this game.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they were kind of top down view as you're running around. You would do your moves and fight, and yeah, your special move you'd have to wait for it to recharge before you couldn't do it consecutively one after the other. But just the sheer amount of characters and customization you can do with your heroes, it was good. It was good, really good.
There's a gold version of that game that came with all the DLC on disc, and because that game has been delisted, it's worth quite a bit now. So
Wow.
it's not like insane,
Oh
but
wait,
for a 360, it's probably like $100 game, which is
yeah,
a lot for a 360 game.
you said it was for 360.
It's the gold version.
You know what? I want to say I have that game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because like I said, it was great. I
Ultimate
thoroughly thoroughly
Ultimate
enjoyed it.
Alliance itself is not worth a lot. That game was a pack-in at some point in 360 consoles, but the gold version is the one that people want because you can't get that DLC anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't think this is the gold edition I have. It's the special edition one,
Okay.
the special edition platinum hits one. I mean, complete in box, you're looking at like a $75 price tag on it.
Well, maybe that is it then, because it is a platinum hits. I'm not sure. I heard it was the gold edition. Is
Okay.
word on the street, but I'd have to look into it more to see if that has the DLC. If it has the DLC on the disc, then that's probably the one.
Yep, that's probably the one. It's probably the one.
A couple other ones that came out. We'll stay in the license theme for just a minute. I got to give a shout out to this. I'm not going to talk about it a lot. Transformers War for Cybertron was a fantastic Transformers game. And High Moon Studios, Wes, I'm going to surprise you. They got put on Call of Duty like everybody else. And they were making awesome games. Awesome
Yeah.
games. And they were like, no, you guys stop making cool things. Go. Go make some Call of Duty stuff for us. They made a Bourne Identity game, like from the Bourne series,
Hmm.
and that was supposed to be excellent.
Did it ever come out?
Go make Call. Yes, it did. There's
Huh.
a hit. I don't talk about hidden gems a lot. There's a hidden gem for you guys. Go find it on Xbox 360.
It was okay. It was called the Born Identity.
I think it was called The Bourne Identity, if I remember correctly.
I gotta look that up. Okay.
It's supposed to be very, very good. And it's probably like, I bet you it's like a $15 game. But that was also from High Moon Studios.
Oh, because Transformers War for Cybertron, like you said, was top notch. Generation One Transformers. Oh man, it was that was they did such a good job. Activision. Well, let me rephrase that because Activision, some of the Transformers games that Activision put out were garbage, and I love Transformers, but War for Cybertron couldn't beat it. Oh, so good, so good.
Definitely. And to correct myself, it's Bourne Conspiracy, not Identity. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay.
Had to put that correction. But here, got it up on my Game Eye. Wes, it's going to set you back an astounding $10 for a complete and box copy of that game.
Born Conspiracy.
$10, man, and I guarantee you'll like it.
I gotta hunt for it now.
Blur. Blur I played for the first time a few years ago. It is an adult version of Mario Kart. It is Mario Kart without the cutesy, and it is spectacular. And you should all go play Blur. I think Disney put that game out when they were still publishing games. And it was one of the best games they ever put out. I forget the studio that created it, but didn't you recently pick up Blur?
I did on your recommend because I never played it. And while I was out game hunting, I came across a little antique shop that sold video games, and there was a copy of Blur sitting right on the shelf.
Nice, man. Yeah, Blur is something special. You definitely need to play Blur. Did you get PS3 or 360 version?
It was the 360 version.
Cool.
I'm assuming they're the same.
Yeah, it's basically identical.
Okay.
Guitar Hero. They own it. It came back about, at this point, 5 years ago, I would say. Guitar Hero Live.
I did not like it.
It failed. I did not buy it. Because at the same time, Rock Band 4 came out. And Rock Band 4 was awesome. It was fantastic. And the last time I checked was probably like a year ago. They were still putting out new music for this game, Wes. Like a year ago.
Wow. Okay.
Rock Band 4 is everything I wanted. And Guitar Hero was everything I didn't. So I skipped Guitar Hero and I bought Rock Band. But I would love for them to bring back Guitar Hero and make it relevant again. We don't want to pay for a subscription. We don't want your online subscription. Mm-mm. Just give us a lot of songs and give us the option to download and buy the songs we want. No one wants to pay. We're subscriptioned out. The United States is subscriptioned out. Let us buy what we want and stop making us pay every month. That's why your game failed, just so you know.
It didn't feel like Guitar Hero to me. I don't know. There was something missing, like that magic that made Guitar Hero what it was. It just wasn't there. And I was excited. I was super excited when Guitar Hero Live came out.
By the time it came out, that would be their third developer. Harmonix had it, then Neversoft, then Activision shuttered Neversoft, and whoever made Guitar Hero Live was a completely different studio. So, I don't know.
I mean, Activision also gave us like DJ Hero. Like the music genre was like at an all-time high at the time.
Yeah, they made some cool stuff, man.
The DJ Hero with the turntables, it was different. But Guitar Hero, man, Guitar Hero is what started it all.
It was like crack in video game form.
It was. It really was. And do I want to see Activision bring back Guitar Hero? Maybe. If it goes back to what Guitar Hero was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
give us like 50 songs off the bat and options to pay for more songs if we want them. And don't try to sell people a subscription. And the whole live thing was weird. Like people would watch you playing or some crap. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was so strange. It's like
It
nobody wants
was.
to. Who wants to watch you play with a fake plastic instrument? What are you talking about? Just make a new Guitar Hero game, the same stuff as before, and the options to download content. That's all you had to do. That's it.
Okay, while we're on the topic of Guitar Hero, which was your favorite?
Rock Band. Which Rock Band
Oh,
was my favorite? Or are we talking about Guitar Hero? Because Rock
Guitar
Band's
Hero.
better.
Guitar Hero.
Probably two. Probably two.
Okay. Okay. I think mine was three.
Three was pretty damn good.
Three
They
was
were all
good. 'Cause it had
good.
Slash in it.
I have the biggest soft spot I have is for one, but one had like they were a new company. They didn't have a lot of money. Nobody knew how it was
Mm-hmm.
gonna do. Almost all the bands were cover bands and not the original songs. So that's the downfall of one. But two had a lot more real bands. By the third one, they were like all real bands.
Oh
So
yeah.
two and three were both very good. But by the time three came out, Rock Band was out, and I was like, I'm playing the drums, playing the bass, and playing the guitar. What do you got? You got a guitar? That's cute. You got drums over here. So
You
I just fell off a cliff with Guitar Hero and went straight to Rock Band.
you weren't about Band Hero, Guitar Hero's version with the drums and the mic and everything.
They have a marketing problem. They could have picked a much better name. You got Rock Band or Band Hero. Band Hero. I understand they're going for the Guitar Hero thing, like, oh look, it's Band
Exactly.
Hero. It sounds like a 2-year-old's playing it. Band Hero. Rock Band. Which one do you want to play in, Wes? You see my point?
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
their songs sucked. I think they had a lot more poppy songs, and
There were.
there was like half rock band like stuff and like half poppy songs. Like, who wants to play this? Who wants to play this? Not me. Give me that rock band.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, that was a long tangent. But yeah, they should bring back it. We should try it. We'll see how it goes. Finally, Crash Bandicoot. Bring Crash back. You gave us 4. 4 was spectacular. Very, very good platformer.
Mm-hmm.
Again, better than anybody expected. What did they do? You guys, we're going to just break your studio up. You can go be part of Blizzard now. Go ahead. Off with you. They just made an amazing platform with you. I don't think Crash 4 sold extremely well, but 1, 2, and 3 did. And I don't think they marketed it 4 well, and they put it
Mm-hmm.
out at a bad time. I think if they had put it out in the summer as opposed to the fall, in the middle of the summer where nothing else was around it, I think it would thrive.
Yeah.
Why are you releasing this game in the fall? What are you guys doing? It's a platformer in 2021, whenever it came out. 2020? I don't know. What are you guys doing? Of course it's going to fail. When 1, 2, and 3 came out? In like June when nothing else was happening. And it sold amazingly well.
Yeah. There was too much stuff around it that it got lost in the shuffle. So.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't the game's fault. That was Activision's fault. So Xbox, bring back Crash. Give us another one.
Microsoft, hope you're listening. We gave you a whole bunch of IPs that we would love to see make a return down the road somewhere.
Take it into consideration, please.